Welcome back, awesome action toy fans and subscribers. Today is a double feature, both from FreshRetro. Number one, looking at this limited edition Bray 13 Quantum Type 200. It says Mecha Project Bray 13 MPO2X Jack 1/18 scale action figure MPO2X, and it says on the other side Quantum Type 200. Now, I have reviewed their figures before and they're awesome. See suggested videos, whichever side it is. This is a limited edition because it's a different color. It's not the red or the blue. It looks green on the front. It's purple inside, but it's not complete. It's missing the weapons. So I managed to pick it up quite cheap. And he just jumped out. He's so excited to be played with. So we'll be looking at him. Might as well keep it open. And also I will be looking at my first FreshRetro Dio piece, which I've had for a while. Only getting around to reviewing it now. This is the Industrial Depot, which looks really nice. Now, one thing I've said about Industrial Depot, or rather FreshRetro Dio pieces, compared to Mecha Project by Joy Toy, Mecha Project are more grimy, they're weathered, they've got this real look that we want to go for. However, FreshRetro is a far more logical system. It's done in squares, 2 squares make a triangle. Triangle. 2 squares make a rectangle. The rectangles we have in Joy Toy, if you cut in half, don't make 2 squares. It makes 2 smaller rectangles. It makes it difficult to do layouts evenly and symmetrically, and to get some of the pieces to fit nicely, because it works for this, but when I put 2 pieces together, it's no longer the same scaling. Yeah, that makes sense. The other thing I really like about this stuff is this real... It fills me with nostalgia seeing the colours, even though it's a bit clean and so forth. You know, it looks really, really quite cool. So I am looking forward to that too. So it's going to be quite a long review, so you may want to see the timestamps in the video description below. And I just spat on my table. And then you can skip ahead if you want to look at those particular places and pieces, rather than listen to me talk and look at toys. Okay, so I'm going to turn the camera around and look at our figure first. So let's get into this. Okay, here he is, and he looks fantastic. He's got a backpack, a little shield thing on his arm. He does come with his like data card, whatever it is, showing you his power, his range, his growth, his endurance, his defense, and his speed. Sort of a little bit reminds me of the old Transformers when they first came out in G1 years ago, and a picture on the back. There are stickers to apply, I'm guessing more to the senior pieces. These are all... Sorry, wrong button. These pieces here all are from FreshRetro. He comes with this piece that's on the end, which is slightly different. I do need more connectors to connect this, and running on top of that one, but it looks pretty cool. I could incorporate these into the build of the diorama, which I'll do in a moment, but I think I'll probably just leave the dio as it is for now. So, first impressions, like all the other FreshRetro stuff out the packet, he looks fantastic. Now, the thing I don't like or not keen on is that his joints are a bit on the loose side, and that's because he's second-hand, he's been played with a lot. To give you an idea, you can see that his waist is quite loose. The arms are still okay. Legs are a little bit loose, but it's mainly the waist joint. If you haven't seen these before, they do come with magnets, so they can stick to the metal pieces and do awesome battle poses, etc. from there. Let's take a closer look, and then we'll look at his articulation after. So here he is. He's a big, handsome boy, very bulky. Good colouring on the plastic. There's no weathering, but it doesn't matter. It looks great. This is the shield. I'm assuming it goes that way around on him, but I may be mistaken. Let me just open the door behind me, get a little bit extra light. There we go. But it does look good. He's got this really nice backpack with his, like, I'm guessing jumper burners or fuel pods or something there. The parts on the side are for his weapons, which I don't have, unfortunately. Maybe I can find them on Taobao at a later date. See his loose waist there. You see that his hips are given full splits in all directions. Very, very nice looking figure. So speaking of splits and so forth, let's look at his articulation. So we'll start off with the head. So there's a forwards, backwards. There is tiny side to side he can turn. There's also neck like this, not just up and down, but neck forwards and backwards. Shoulders stiff all the way around. He has a movement here, which you see in War of Order and the New Acid Rain. To the side, despite that bulky armor, he does get flat. Bicep is a bit more interesting, I think, because of that armor again, but he still gets over 90 degrees, even with the bulk, which is really quite good. There is bicep turn. Hands on. He has a two double wrist turn. So one at the top here, one at the bottom there. His hands can turn. He also has articulation in his fingers. So we have, let's have a look, how does it go? Yeah, 4 fingers are articulated. So really, really quite good. He has trunk at the top, forwards, backwards, side to side and turn. He has waist. Hips, as I said, full splits and full splits. So you can't beat it on the legs. Kneecap, single knee joint, but he does get over 90 degrees, which is cool. There is a thigh twist. Also the hip turns as well. Wow, so much articulation. There is boot twist. There is swivel. There is a phenomenal Michael Jackson, your dorsiflexation. And thanks to the magnetic or magnets in the feet, you can actually hold that pose. Tippy toes, again, really rather something special. In fact, I'm not sure you can even could hold up there. You can even hold that pose going backwards. So really, really good all-round articulation. A fantastic figure with great articulation. And this is the shield part. It just attaches. And I've put it this way. I think that way around would probably impede the articulation slightly. I might reach out to these guys. I've reached out to them before and they have replied and asked if there's any way to stiffen the trunk and waist joint and see how. He seems to be missing, as a Malaysian English, see how la. I lived in Malaysia for 7 years in case you didn't know. He seems he might be missing an insert or his cod piece, his crutch piece there, maybe, because there's a hole there. But we'll see. I like that figure a lot. He's really, really nice looking. To give you an idea of how easy it is to pose, obviously a lot easier if his waist was stiff, especially using the metal there. Well, he's going to fall forwards, but otherwise he's doing a sort of, I'm running and looking, or I'm doing a judo throw, or I'm kicking. There you go. Now he's doing a running pose. So easy to pose, these guys, particularly with the magnetic feet. They've done a fantastic job in these Fresh Retro. Now they have shown previously some mechs that they're going to be releasing and other action figures. I really can't wait for those too. It's such an exciting toy line, and I'm going to try and get more of their stuff as it comes out, depending on my finances and my space, because space is at a premium at the moment because I am filling up my apartment way too fast. And I have a video about that probably next week and show you a lot of the toys I've got and how much space I've got and so forth. So do stay tuned for that. So please subscribe and click on the notification icon if you've not done so already. Fantastic figure. I like this figure a lot. The magnetic feet do make a huge difference. Just that his waist is so loose at the moment. Okay, so next I am going to unbox the Industrial Units Dio set, and I'm going to build one of the layouts of that, and then we'll pose him in that, and we'll get some other figures to do a comparison. In fact, before that, let me just show you his scale with a normal 1/18 scale figure. Now he's one of the bigger figures they do. They've got a smaller robot size and this bigger robot size. He's quite big. The smaller robot size is quite small. If I get a Joy Toy maintenance team, you see that he is towering above. You'd expect that. He looks big and chunky, but still a good scale. Okay, so I'm going to pause this, and I'm going to build the industrial depot, and we'll come back and we'll take a look. So be back in a second. Yes, it's not built, but I've had to come back early to show you something amazing. Look how this is packed. Look. Each part is in a separate individual sort of case with the letters on, so you know which part it is. And look at the size of this book. This is ridiculous. That's the size of my finger nearly, you know. And that's very, very detailed, telling you how to build everything. This is like almost like Lego, but even more detailed in the instructions, I think. This is fantastic, but also making me worried that it's 151 pages long. That it might take a long time to build, but laid out so well. Individual sections for your F1, your FO2s, and so forth. Stickers. This is going to be a pleasure to build, and I don't think I'll be worried about finding parts because it's all labelled so clearly. Great job. Okay, so let me get into this and start building. So here it is. Took a little while to build. I'm not so keen on that bright blue colour, but the other colours are fine, even that sort of mustard yellow there. So this is a 3-level one. There's a few things that I have issue with it. But I'll talk about that in a second. Have a little look first. So it does look pretty cool. I do like that. And it's got a small footprint for the levels, so I chose the Build B. Now what's really great is all the pieces come in bags and all the bags are labelled. So you've got to find the piece number, C04, how many you want, take out. So it's really easy to find your pieces. It is a simple, quick system like that. Okay, so I'm going to put some figures in there so we can take a look. Then I'll talk about it a bit further and we'll continue from there. So back in another instant. Okay, so I've got some figures in there. Here's a Joy Toy maintenance team climbing the stairs. We have a Marauder Task Force Valkyrie, 6 girls well. My custom Acid Rain World and the Reno Sentinel. The FreshRetro Brave MP that I reviewed, Jack. And then we have the Joy Toy Assassin I reviewed recently the other day. And a huge pile of boxes full of toys going up there. Scales very well with the figures. I'm not sure if it scales better than Joy Toy. I think this might have more compatibility with slightly smaller figures, maybe. I really like this staircase. One issue is the bottom you see here of the staircase is supposed to plug into the bottom part, but there's no plug for that or no socket for that. And I did build it correctly according to instructions. Now, if someone's done it with instructions and it's right, then maybe I'm wrong. You can let me know in the comments of what I've done wrong. So I looked at instructions several times, took it apart, like, yeah. So maybe I was wrong, but I think I'm right there. I like the little walkway going around there. I love the fact that this one's got such a small footprint. It does work really well with the small footprint. Now, the figure's going to probably all fall off now, so I'm going to turn it around, give you guys a bit of a look. There we go. Who's going to stay up? So far, the maintenance guy and the really sensitive. They want to stay walking. Okay. So there's or upright. There's a walkway that comes around. But this one's got a really high ceiling. I love the fact you've got this little valve you can open or close there. Looks really cool. This sort of mezzanine level here, it seems almost redundant, you know. Why would you have half a level? I mean, yeah, add something to it, but then you've got all this wasted space underneath. If you want to put storage in there or something. And then the top's pretty cool. These sort of reinforced steel RSJ's girders here, or girders rather. Bit flimsy in this, but still works okay. It's not a bad set. Now, some of the things that I like, I think the system for connecting the bases is really good. It's square, so it works really well. It's really fast. Got these nice sort of fencing areas. You can see the fenced wiring, almost like chicken wire on these parts. So that's really good. I love the way the flooring is done like this as well. That's really, really good. And you can swap these out for the metal parts I've got over here. If you want to get these guys magnetic feet to stick on. Really, really nice. The staircase looks fantastic. But these are just too small. This feels too small. So this has multi-size compatibility. If you have a big figure, it will not look good. So if I take a Marvel Legends figure here, suddenly these little things here, well, that's pointless. That's up to his kneecap. That's not going to stop anything or anyone from falling off, you know. So it doesn't scale well with your bigger figures. But smaller figures, it will work. The system also takes quite a while to set up. To get these the right way around and aligned is actually longer than JoyToy. The system for the bases being square, now that is fantastic. Ideally, you want a system where it's got the square bases, we've got rectangles that match up with the square bases and so forth, but maybe the connection for base to base. But you'd probably want a something similar to the JoyToy system for connecting the other bits and bobs together. But the JoyToy system's pretty good, but the bits do snap a bit easily. It's a nice set. I like it. I'm glad I got it. I will look in the future, maybe hopefully space and money depending, to get some more. But I'm sort of mixed as to which one I prefer, this or the JoyToy. There's no, one that I prefer over the other. JoyToy for look, this for the square bases, and I think it's got some really good features in this. It's just a shame that the Mission 375 Kickstarter it passed its funding, but it didn't work out, because that would have been possibly better than both. We will see. Okay, this is Awesome Action Toys saying please like, share, and subscribe. Click on the notification icons for up-to-date latest news, reviews, videos, etc. I'll be back soon with a new Awesome Action Toys video review or news for you guys. Stay happy, keep collecting. Bye-bye.